Hi guys, the Metal Maniac back again, and welcome to another music collection update. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. So first up is the album Welcome to Hell by Venom. Now, I know for the longest time I've mentioned this I think quite a few times in some of my videos, that I don't like Venom, mainly because of Cronus's vocals and stuff like that. But actually, within the past year or two, I've been trying to re-listen. I was like once or twice I tried to re-listen to some of the stuff. Didn't really get into it, and then about like a couple of months ago, I actually was like, okay, you know what? This is probably gonna be my last time trying to get into this band. And honestly, I don't know why. I don't know why, but for some reason, the very last time that I gave them a last chance, I actually liked the album I heard, and this was the album I heard. And yeah, I sort of gotten into them now. I don't know why it took so long. I know it's one of those Venom's one of those bands where for some reason it took me so long to just sort of get into the band. And yeah, I mean, I have already heard within the past few months, I've already heard every single one of their albums and all their singles and stuff. So yeah, they're probably one of my favorite bands now. But for some reason, again, it took me a long time to get into them. I don't know why. I mean, I know why because of Cronus's vocals, but I don't know why I didn't like them to begin with. But I don't know. It's weird. But yeah, so this is their first album. Oddly enough, even the re-releases of this album are kind of hard to find, or at least kind of expensive. But yeah, I finally got my hands on their first album. All right. Next up is an album that I used to only have on CD, but now I have on vinyl. And that's Leprosy by Death. Yeah, this one, is it? Okay, no. So I was hoping originally when I bought this, I guess I didn't look at the back because there's a sticker on the back, but I was hoping that this would be a colored vinyl because a few years ago, all the classic, all the Death albums were released on colored vinyl. I think maybe except for one. I can't remember which one, but maybe it was the Sound of Perseverance that wasn't. But so I was hoping that this re-release was one of those, but unfortunately, no. This is a even more recent re-release, I think. I don't know. But anyway, it's just the standard black vinyl, which again I was hoping for a colored vinyl, but it doesn't matter. It's just but yeah, this album's kind of weird to me because I don't know. Sometimes I love it. Sometimes I just like it. I've never hated it, but sometimes I like it more. Sometimes I like it a little less than some other ones in their discography. Sorry, I'm stumbling with my words. But yeah, finally got this on vinyl. Next up is another Death album that I finally have on vinyl, and that's Spiritual Healing. This one I originally did not like, but then I listened to it more and more, and now I absolutely love it. And also this is not a colored vinyl either, unfortunately. It seems like the colored vinyl of these re-releases is getting more and more rare, I guess. I don't know if these were only ever re-released on colored vinyl like once or something, but yeah, this is just another standard black vinyl. Next is an EP on cassette. This is my third cassette tape. And the EP is called Bound by Oath in Love's Despair by the band Nightmares Bewix It. Yeah, I've never heard of this band before, but I saw this at the record store I go to. It was only like $7. So like, this looks cool. I'll definitely give it a try. But there's that. Also, the only thing I knew about this band, like I hadn't heard of them, but I did look them up briefly before buying this, and they're a black metal band, apparently, raw black metal, which I don't usually like raw black metal, but again, $7. So I'm just like, okay, I'll give this a try. It's not that expensive. Also, it's on a red cassette tape, which is cool. Anyway, all right. The last thing is not an album, but it is music related, and that's the book, The Death Archives. It's a Mayhem book, and I think this was released relatively recently. 2018 maybe. Again, it's not new, but it's relatively recent. Hold on. I don't know. I can't find a date on here. But this is a book that I actually had trouble with in the first place because actually this is my second copy. The first copy I bought about a week ago, or was it a week ago? I don't know. It was a while ago, and I bought the first copy, and it fell apart almost instantly. Not instantly, but like in a few hours for some reason. Like I don't know if it was a factory error or whatever, but the binding of the book wasn't done well. Like there's a lot of glue missing, and the book just like as I was reading it, as I was turning the pages, within the next couple of hours of that, the book just started falling apart. I've noticed that this one kind of has glue missing in a couple of places as well. So I don't know. So it almost seems like it's not. It wasn't that particular copy. I think it's just a mass error in the factory, or it's just not made that well in terms of it being put together. But I don't know. This one seems a bit more sturdy. I haven't had a problem with it yet. And I have read through it, most of it already. But hopefully this one doesn't fall apart. But this is actually by written by Necrobutcher. His point of view of the shenanigans that went on during the classic era of mayhem. Again, this book covers everything from 1984 to 1994. So basically the rise and fall of the classic era. And even though there's definitely a lot of there's pages with text and stuff. Majority of this book is actually made up of behind the scenes photos and stuff. I don't want to open it too much and risk it falling apart like the other one, but I'll try to show a few pages. Like this one. This is actually I think film reels of their 1986 live show. I think this is when they were in that talent show, and oh yeah, it had to be because it was '86 and it was live in Sky, I believe, and they had Maniac on vocals. Oh, not Maniac, Messiah, and very underrated Mayhem vocalist. And unfortunately, he was only in the band for like I think less than a year or something like that. And then. Oh, that's the classic picture of Dead. The classic promotional picture. I think this is the Live in Leipzig show. Or it's either Live in Leipzig or Live in Nagism. The original Mayhem logo that I don't think was ever used on anything. You can see here it's almost exactly the same, but there's like blood dripping from it. And I think the letters are a bit thicker on this version. But yeah, so I don't think this version was ever actually used. Um, but yeah, I'm not going to spoil too much. But I do recommend this book if you can, buy a copy that's like this one. This is my second one I have. The first one fell apart. But this one seems to be a lot more sturdy. But yeah, I've read the majority of this book, and it's really, really good. Again, it's talking about the classic era of mayhem, and of course, Necro Butcher wrote this book, and it's through his perspective of everything that went on. And yeah, it's a really good read, and if you're a fan of mayhem, this is a definitely must read. Some really good stories and some really good like sides, like some really good interesting some like bits, some like small stories that are sort of like not really talked about in like interviews and stuff like that. Like yeah, there's some main stuff here, a lot of the main stuff that happened, but also there's some like side stuff that like it's like stories that wouldn't really be necessarily brought up in like interviews and stuff like that, and just some like one-off sort of things that they're cool, but they're not like integral to the main story, but they're just some really sort of interesting I guess subplots, not subplots, but like you know what I mean. Not integral events, but interesting nonetheless. But yeah, I definitely recommend it. Alright, so that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all next time.